What's the scoop with Dallas? Do you want to give a shot at Jerry Jones's press conference from yesterday? His response to Jane Slater's question in particular is one that we played on yesterday's show and has gotten some traction about being an option quarterback, and he's not yet ready to pitch it. He needs to see more. What did he say? Needs to see more leaves
fall off the trees. I enjoyed when he started when he said we're all in.
He said it 6 times.
And if you look at Mike McCarthy's just sitting there and then just goes the full-on like Kermit T meme. It was like, okay, yep, he's heard that all along. What are we all in with? We got we signed Eric Kendricks and saw our starting center and our starting left tackle and our starting running back.
Royce Freeman
on a minimum deal coming in, maybe a factor in the return game. They'll sign an and/or draft a running back. They're still going to be active at that spot. But if you're Dallas, you're in the need territory in this draft. You know, a lot of people have mocked Graham Barton, the Duke interior offensive lineman, to them just because they lost their starting center. They also lost their starting left tackle. You need to start there if you're going to have a chance through the course of this season here. Running back may not be the highest priority. Mike McCarthy said, love to get one of those running backs. Well, can you justify taking a running back in the second round when you've got all those other needs at premium positions around him?
Well, it would have been helpful to maybe create the cap space by re-signing your guys that are going to be only more expensive as you wait for the leaves to fall, you know, and thus hit somebody in free agency of significance.
The last deal I remember Dallas really getting done early, and this is a little different situation, was Jalen Smith. And that's going back a ways.
And maybe that's why they're a little gun shy, do you think?
Well, that did not obviously work out. And a couple of years later, he's off the team. This has been how Jerry's done business in recent years, which is you push it and you kick the can and you worry about the problems later. Dak's first deal. Now, they did make a run at it earlier, but they ended up having to tag him twice before they actually got the long-term contract done, which ended up being a shorter-term contract than Dallas always does. Why? Because Dak and his agent had the leverage in that case. Now they've got the maximum leverage in all this, which is he is going to become a free agent. He would be, because technically they had to use the second tag because they didn't sign the deal in time. They didn't paper it in time. So it will be a third tag, not a second one for Dak next year, which is 144% of his current cap number, which is like close to $90 million. So that's not happening here. He is going to be a true unfettered free agent. He's going to be the Kirk Cousins unless they're able to ramp this thing up. With CeeDee Lamb, the prices are just going to continue to get more outrageous. That's going to be $30 million plus per year. And you still got to sign Micah Parsons on top of this as well. That's what the explanation has been from the Cowboys, which is we're saving to pay the core types of players here. But Dak's as big of a core piece of the team as you can possibly imagine. And right now, looking at it, if you were guessing, and you hate to project things this far out, but it's hard to imagine that Dak Prescott's the Cowboys quarterback in 2025 if things don't change.
Really? You really believe that?
He's going to be an unfettered free agent. The Cowboys, to this point, have not made substantive strides toward getting a long-term deal done with him. He can pick any team that he can go to, and maybe Dak wants to ride things out with the Cowboys. Maybe he'll come back on whatever deal they put in front of him, but we know this about Dak at this point. He's willing to go to the wall on contract matters. He's willing to play on a franchise tag, even when he busts up his ankle. He's willing to wait for the right deal. There's certainly a possibility they could bring him back next year, but if Dak Prescott hits free agency like Kirk Cousins did this year, I would envision, nothing for sure, but I would envision that it plays out much like Cousins, which is the Vikings were willing to make an offer, but there was another team that was willing to blow that offer out of the water.
Catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.